Here with us now, former naval officer Gordon Lawson. Officer, welcome back to the show, sir.
Good morning, Hena. Great to be with you. Please call me Gordon.
Okay, I will. Thank you, Gordon. CENTCOM says nearly 50 Iranian vessels have been turned back because of the U.S. blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. Our government saying this has huge economic implications for Iran. How do you assess the effectiveness of that blockade currently, and of course the pressure it's putting on Iran?
Well, it's been incredibly effective. The U.S. Navy has done an amazing job here. The effect has been not just the 48 vessels, but over 69 million barrels of illegal oil that we've been able to prevent Iran from exporting to the world, mostly to China. And also the effect has been about a 40% decrease, a 40% hit on Iran's GDP. So the blockade, I think, has been the most effective strategic military maneuver we've done since the conflict started.
So going back to that price tag, the White House claims the blockade has cost nearly $5 billion in revenue for Iran. What does that overall look like for Iran's economy and, of course, the millions of citizens who are just waiting to see how all of this plays out?
Well, I think that's a great point. What's going to happen is we know that there's been internal strife in Iran for a long time against the regime. They're already feeling the effects of being unable to export oil, so that means higher gas prices. They're already struggling to get food for their people. Those necessities for daily life are going to put, I think, more pressure on the regime to strike a deal with the U.S. and to end this blockade, to get the straits open, which is what our main goals are as well, and to I think get back to a place where there's a semblance of normal life within Iran.
There is a ceasefire in place. Has this pivoted, Gordon, from a purely military war to simply an economic one?
Well, I think the president has done a good job here of saying we're going to maintain military options. So while this is easier for us to maintain in the long term, a non-kinetic war really is much easier for the military to keep up for an extended period of time. It's not purely an economic war because we can go back to strikes on strategic military facilities very quickly here. But I think the other piece that maybe we're concerned about is there's been some other reporting that if we don't get to a negotiated settlement, there are undersea cables, for example, that are connecting communications in the Gulf. There is additional mining perhaps Iran could do. So they still have some capability here to be able to inflict damage on their Gulf neighbors. And we want to make sure they do not do that by keeping up this this blockade and the pressure economically on the regime.
The State Department has approved over $8 billion in arms sales to the Persian Gulf countries and Israel this week. Gordon, if you can explain to me the strategic importance of these sales and ultimately what this means for our allies in that region.
100%. When the conflict started, there were about $26 billion worth of damage done on oil facilities in the Gulf countries, in the UAE, Kuwait, Bahrain, Saudi. So what we're seeing with these weapon sales is the ability to not only project power, as in F-16s or these other sort of aircraft being able to project power and defend themselves, but also the interceptors. The interceptors are critical. Over 50% of the drones that were fired by Iran were actually fired by militias coming out of Iraq. The U.S. and its allies don't really control Iraqi airspace. So this becomes a very asymmetric conflict. And the ability for our allies to intercept and protect their populations from these drone attacks is very, very critical. And we'll have to make sure they have the weaponry to do that moving forward.
A moment ago, I was talking to our correspondent, Robert Sherman. We were talking about the White House's plan to pull even more troops out of Germany. This, of course, as retaliation for European allies not supporting the conflict in Iran. Gordon, first I want to ask for your reaction. And then I also want to ask, do you think this is a warning shot to other allies who are not assisting us when it comes to this foreign conflict?
I think sometimes, while these are serious, because we still have a conflict that we're involved in. I know it's more on the periphery, but we still have a conflict we're involved in between Ukraine and Russia, and I think it concerns our European allies. as you can see here, we have tens of thousands of troops still stationed in Europe. Yeah, 5,000 that we're moving around is significant, but probably not a huge deal in the scheme of things.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.